guys see this happening during a live training. But for some of you guys who have been with me for some time, you guys know what I'm drawing. This is a baseball diamond. And we all start at home plate. And every single one of your prospects starts here. This is the starting point. Now, would you say that it would be kind of hard for me to get a prospect from home plate and get them all the way across the plate with one swing of the bat? Now, of course, there's home runs, but you know what most hitters say in baseball? That when a home run happens, it's actually a mistake that they made, because no one's ever taught to hit home runs. You're taught to hit through the ball. You're taught to hit the ball as hard as you can and as straight as you can. So when home runs happen, if you interview most baseball players, they'll tell you home runs are mistakes. You kind of missed it and it went the right way and it went out of the park. So and all of us pretty much saw what happened to the Los Angeles Dodgers in the World Series. What happened? You live by the home run, you die by the home run. And what ended up happening is that a team that, according to everybody that lives in LA, is far less talented than the Dodgers, was able to beat them because they learned how to play small ball. They learned how to move runners along. So how do we do that in this business? Now, first base is a tool. I always know who's going to make money throughout the day based on what they're asking me on WhatsApp, based on conversation that I'm having on Facebook. Hey, what video can I send out? When are we having the next Zoom? What other video can I show them about, a blockchain or about the Bitcoin mining in China? When they're asking me what kind of tool can I share with prospects, I know that they're working. I know that they're increasing their value to the marketplace. And this is the first tool. Any tool. A tool can be a video. A tool can be a generic Bitcoin video that you can find a bunch of them on YouTube. Just find one that you like, that makes sense to you, that doesn't promote another Bitcoin company, and share that with your prospects. A tool can be a Zoom. A tool can be just a conference call, a three-way call, to introduce them to a video. But the tool is the most important one, because if you can't get them out of home plate, then they're never going to score. You need to get them out of home plate. So get them started in the process. Now, once they review the tool, the next step is to connect them with someone in your success line, or someone who is knowledgeable of what we're doing, who is trained, and they understand how to properly do a connection call, or what we call a three-way call. And on this three-way call, all you're going to do is you're going to speak highly of the person who's going to help you out, and you're going to put your phone on mute. And that's it. And you're going to let someone else speak to your prospect, or the person that you're introducing to Airbit, and they're going to do the next step, which is simply inviting them to either a presentation on Zoom or a meet and greet, somewhere. Like if you're having a dinner, you're having a get together, then, we're just moving the runner along. Now, at this point, at the Zoom, they're going to be ready to make a decision to come home, and you're going to score a run. Now, here's how I know who is the most active, based on how many three-way calls I'm receiving throughout the day. Right now, I know what pockets of my team are growing the fastest based on who's putting me on the phone with who. If I get 1 to 3 calls a day from a team, that means that team is starting to build some momentum. If I get anywhere between 5 and 7 three-way calls from a particular team, then that team has entered the early stages of momentum. And once the three-way calls reach higher than 10 or 15 three-way calls a day, then at that point, that team is in full-blown momentum, and people within that team are making money. So guess what happens? They become the experts for their own three-way calls, their own presentations, because that's the baton that you pass on to the next leader. Now, this is very important, because unless you have a roadmap or unless you know the rules of the game that we're playing, then it's impossible for you to win. So this is what we do. This is the systematic way in which we introduce people to Airbit. We don't shotgun people. We don't bamboozle people. We don't what is that called when people hide behind the bushes? Ambush. There you go. We don't ambush people into any presentations. They have to know exactly why they're here. And think about it this way. Most marketing experts say that a person needs to see information an average of 3 to 5 times before they make a decision. Now, if they've never seen anything and you try to enroll them into Airbit, then they're not ready. But by the time they get to first base and they watch a video on generic Bitcoin, then you put them on the phone with someone who is going to share their story and invite them to come to a live presentation or a live meet and greet. Then by the time they're ready to come to home plate, they've at least seen the information 3 times. Now that gives you a better chance of them making a profitable decision for them, which is getting started with our club, right? So this is the baseball diamond. I can't emphasize enough how important this is. As far as what tool you should use, that's something that, we can definitely share that on WhatsApp on our group, and you can just have them somewhere, have them on a file so that you're not always having to go back through the whole thread of conversations to look for a video. And if you're using it quite a bit, if you're following the 5 absolutes and you're sharing a tool with 2 people every single day, then it'll never go too far away from you. You'll always know where your tool is. You'll always know where your video is. So if you understand this part, and now you know who you're talking to with the scale of influence, you know exactly what you need to do to get them through the home plate. The next step is really the best step for me.